In 1966, Ford introduced the Ford Bronco, and in today's video we are discussing what makes the 60th anniversary different versus the Heritage trim level. So we're talking about exterior and interior differences, technology that is on this one that is not on this one. We're gonna do a full walk around, and stay tuned to the end of the video because we've got a Q&A. We're going over a couple of things, answering your questions. So stay tuned. Let's talk about the 60th versus the Heritage. Okay, so let's talk about the exterior, and let's start with the color. This one right here on the 60th anniversary is the ruby red metallic against the Wimbledon whites top. And believe it or not, on the 60th anniversary, that is the only way that you can get the top, is with the Wimbledon. Now, I wanted to wait until I got the ruby red because everybody's doing a video with the Wimbledon white on Wimbledon white. So I love this contrast. Let me know what you think in the comments. Now, on this Heritage, this is a Velocity blue against the Oxford white top. And yes, Oxford white is the only top that you can get on a Heritage. Now let's talk about the exterior differences, and let's start right on the grille. So believe it or not, the color of this grille is warm alloy. So you've got your signature light headlights, obviously LEDs all the way going through, and this one has your red Bronco letters with the Wimbledon white stroke or outline on the letters. I love that contrast. Now look at this over here. We've got Oxford white. Oxford white again is the only color that you can get on the Heritage, and this does not have the signature light just like you do on the 60th. Why? Because this is its own trim level based on a big bend, and the 60th is actually the Outer Banks with the 60th anniversary package. Now you've got the Ford logo right here. Instead of it saying Bronco, it says Ford. And again, the design of the grille is very different versus that of the 60th. Now, the bumpers, let's talk about the bumpers. They're both powder-coated steel. You've got tow hooks on both. Now, this one does have the front sensors. Oh, and I forgot, very important, you have a front camera on the 60th. Now, let's bounce over here at the Heritage. The Heritage does not have a front camera. Same style bumper, tow hooks, and fog lights. But another difference, you do not have the front sensors that you do on the Outer Banks with the 60th anniversary. Now let's talk about safety. Now you see that little trapezoid section above the rear view mirror. Now that is a camera that you also have on the Heritage. This is another sensor that you also have on the Heritage. They both work together to provide you with some safety features. Number one, this one has adaptive cruise control. So both of these sensors work together to keep you at a safe distance. This is something that the 60th has, the Heritage does not. Also, number two, you have your lane keeping system on both. This is where those cameras is monitoring the markers on the road and basically warning you if you're drifting too much to somebody else's lane. And then number three, you've got your pre-collision assist with automatic emergency braking. So God forbid the driver of either vehicle is not paying attention and there's going to be an impact. You're going to be hitting somebody from behind and you're not applying the brake. Guess what? The Ford Bronco does that for you. So the only difference between this one and that one is that one, Heritage, does not have the adaptive cruise control. Let's continue talking about the exterior side of things. So let's start over here in the 60th anniversary. You've got a round, typical Sasquatch style fender, which I like, but believe it or not, I love the fender that's on the Heritage, which is squared off at the top. I just feel like this is a nicer design. I feel like this is a better look, but it is my opinion. What do you guys think? Comment below. Do you like the squared off one or do you like the round one? Now, while we're here on this one, let's talk about this setup right here, because both the 60th and the Heritage come standard with the Sasquatch package, which gives you a little bit of a level suspension lift, gives you your Billenstein shocks, gives you lockers in the front and in the back, And it gives you this almost 35-inch tire setup with a 17-inch wheel. In this case, it's white, obviously to match the theme of the Heritage. But if we come across over to the 60th anniversary one, if I don't hit it, then you've got the same Sasquatch level, the same tire, and this design of the wheel, which is just spectacular. It is a really awesome looking wheel, and believe it or not, it's got a name for the color, which is called Gravity Gray. Okay, warm alloy on the grill and Gravity Gray on the wheels. So I love that setup, but yes, I wish it had the squared off fenders. Now take a look at this badging. It is a specific badging. It is to represent the year that the Ford Bronco came out in 1966, and believe it or not, Ford is making 1966 of the 60th anniversary to basically honor the year that the Ford Bronco came out. So I love that. Running boards are the same. What do you guys think about the decal? The decal here is a sticker that again represents the 60th anniversary. So on the top, we can get to see the Wimbledon white top again, which, man, it is a delicate color to keep clean and for scratch resistance. So be careful with that. So take a look at these two side profiles. I love them both, but what do you guys think? Heritage or 60th? All right, so now we are on the inside of the 60th anniversary package. One of the things I want to point out is the lights, how the design is a little bit different versus what they were a year ago. So now the light is angled more towards the back. I don't know if you can see how the this traction bar is painted to match the body of the vehicle. When the top is off, this thing looks extremely nice. The design that Ford did on the Ford Bronco is really nice when this is off. Talking about the top, this is standard with the 60th anniversary, which is the sound deadening headliner, which it does work. I've been in some Broncos that do not have that, and it does help with the noise reduction. So make sure that that you pay attention to that. Obviously, the top is removable in 3 sections: that your cargo top, your middle section, and then your front row. But pay attention to the seats. You can appreciate the two-tone. This is called Alpine. So again, with these unique names on the interior, Alpine. What do you guys think about that color? I just love it. It's a nice contrast, and yeah, what do you guys think? Now we come to the driver's seat, and I do want to point out that we have more Alpine color on the door panel, and I just love this setup because it's a lot of contrast that you see here, and you also have the same contrast on the seats. I just love it, and I want to point out that on this 60th anniversary one, you've got a really cool logo right here, which is number 60 and your Ford Bronco right there, which is pretty nice. Now, we do have your gray theme on the inside versus the Heritage, which we'll show you in a few moments. But I love the red accents on the vents and the handles of the Ford Bronco Heritage. And talking about handles for 2026, this is another feature that Ford brought out, which is your grab handles, which a lot of people were complaining because it was really difficult to climb into the Bronco with the steering wheel or with the handle being right at this level. So this gives you a nice access to get into the vehicle. As we turn on the vehicle, then you've got your digital dash, which is no different. Okay, you've got. I love that setup though, because the graphics and the design of it is fantastic looking. And as soon as you turn your knob for the different driving modes, then you can definitely see how the theme changes, the color, the graphics. That's my favorite one. And talking a little bit about my favorite driving mode, which is the sport mode. I live in sport mode, not 99% of the time, 100% of the time. I love the way that it accelerates and the shifting points. I just like that. Another thing that I want to point out is your hero switches, which is up top, right towards your right. You've got your hazard lights, your traction control off, your trail turn assist, which this is used in tight situations where you need to make a very, very tight turn And when that is engaged, what the system does is that if you're turning the wheel one way, it will apply the brake to the outside wheel, to that wheel, so that when you give it some gas, then it's basically going to pivot on its own, right? Because of the tire having the brake on. This is your rear locker. This is your front locker. And there's another button right here. So for a Amazon gift card for $25, comment below. The first person to comment what button goes here and what it does, I will send you a $25 Amazon gift card. Now, climbing in here, using the grab handle, really nice. You got your typical setup here, but one of the things that I want to point out is that you've got your camera. And yes, granted, the visual here is kind of wonky because of the door being open on that side, but you do have your 360 camera. You've got your front view. You've got different multiple views as well. This is your front view. So this is one difference that you have on the 60th anniversary that you don't have on that guy right there, which is the Heritage trim level. So talking about that, let's go ahead and check out the Heritage trim level, look at the interior, see how it is different versus this one. So let's head out over there. So now we are in the Heritage trim level, as you can see. And the Heritage has always had this blue theme called plate. And this is the same pattern that Ford introduced when the Heritage came out a couple of years ago. And it is only cloth. Again, this is based off a Big Bend series. So I like it. Different texture, different design on it, but it's perfectly fine for more of an entry-level vehicle. Up top, you can see there's no sound deadening headliner on this one, but you can option it out with it, and I would highly recommend that you get it because it does make a difference when you're driving around and the wind noise is just hitting the vehicle really hard. So I would recommend definitely to add that. Typical stuff over here, your AC vents, your power controls, your power outlets for the kiddos that might need to charge a device. So on the door paneling, you do have some contrast, but it is more of a darker theme on the panel. You can hardly see the contrast, at least from my perspective here, which is nice. Instead of just having a whole black door, you've got a little bit of a navy pure blue there. The dash, again, with that navy pure blue theme, and in between, you've got that Oxford white, which again is the main color for the Heritage trim level. Same with the red, going across the grab handles, stitching around the steering wheel, and the Bronco letters over there. If you notice, well, you can't on that side, but there's no power seats on the Heritage model because again, it is based off of a Big Bend, which is more of an entry level. You do have power seats on that guy over there. So again, the same theme on the seats with a plaid look on the front seats, blue, navy pure, and stitching on there as well. Same driving modes as before, so there's no difference on the dash, but what there is a difference is there's no adaptive cruise control. Remember, we talked about the technology, so there's no adaptive cruise control. And then also, let me show you the camera. There's no camera button here for your 360, so the only camera that you have is your backup camera. So that is another difference that you have on this one here. So this is a very quick summary of the interior of both vehicles. So one other thing that I want to show you is there's a unique accessory that the 60th anniversary comes with. So let me show you what that is. So the accessory that I'm talking to you about, which is unique and exclusive to the 60th anniversary package, is this wheel and tire cover, which is painted, and again, in the Wimbledon white. So this goes exactly where it obviously is supposed to go. I love how this looks against the Wimbledon white top. I think it finishes the look classy, luxurious looking, and part of the 60th anniversary package on this Outer Banks. Okay, so for this part of the video, we've got a little Q&A. Some of the questions that I found on the websites, on the internet about these Broncos, one of them is, will there ever be a two-door 60th anniversary Bronco. Well, remember, this is based off of the Outer Banks, and Outer Banks is more comfort and luxury. So I doubt that this will be ever in a two-door configuration. And FYI, in order for you to get a two-door, you have to go into the Badlands trim level. That's really the only two-door, how you can get a two-door Bronco. The other question is, will there ever be a V8? Oh, on Ford Bronco. Remember that time that we had the Ford F-150 Raptor in 2017 came out, and ever since then Ford really, all the people wanted the V8 and the V8 and the V8, and Ford eventually put a V8 on the Ford Raptor. Imagine if they do that on this, if they put a V8 on a Bronco. Would you buy one if it was a V8? I mean, I've had a 2.7 in mine and I've been really happy with it, but just to have that growl and that exhaust note off a V8, I think I would be in on that. We talked about the tire cover. Somebody asked, can we buy that? I checked with my parts department, and right now there's no parts availability for it. And again, they're only making a certain amount of the Heritage trim levels. So I doubt that there would be a part available for you to buy just to have it. Another question is a Bronco a good daily driver? Well, I can speak from experience. I've had two Broncos, two of them, one in 2021, antimatter blue, which by the way, Ford only made 6 months of antimatter blue in 2021 Ford Bronco. I kept that vehicle for about 30,000 miles. I've got about 38,000 miles on my current one. And yes, it is my daily driver. It's what we use for my family when we go on trips. It is to come and go from home and work. So is it a good daily driver? Yes, absolutely. Very comfortable ride, very peppy, spacious. It is a little bit of wind noise that you have to get used to, but other than that, it's pretty good. No issues on there as well. Now, another question is, what is the differences in the whites? Well, we talked about that in the video. We've got Oxford white, which is the typical traditional white that you've always seen, very common on the commercial vehicles. Oxford white against the Wimbledon white. Now, the Wimbledon white is basically a color that was in the 1960s Ford Broncos, believe it or not. We had it back then. And Ford came out with that color in the 50th anniversary Mustang. Do you guys remember that? So this is a very special color and it is not mass produced. Another question is, do I know what a short drop window feature is? Well, yes, and I'm here to show you in case you don't know what it is. Well, if you don't know, this is a window that does not have a frame. It's a frameless window. So many times when you open the door, the window has to drop down. If it doesn't drop down in time, then it grabs against the seal, right? It is an issue that we got with the Ford Broncos. But if you have your key fob with you, if you hit the unlock button, then it automatically drops the window so that you can easily go ahead and now open your door, and then bam, it closes back up. You also have another feature, just in case you didn't know, called global window. So if you hit the unlock button and then you hit it again, but this time you hold it down for a few seconds, then you'll notice that all of your windows drop down. Now, the purpose of this is so that if you live in a hot climate like here in Texas, we get up to 150 degrees over here, or at least it feels that way. This is a way for you to get the hot air out of the Ford Bronco. Now, lastly, I want to say this. I've got another Amazon gift card for those of you guys that waited until this video, and I appreciate you. Do you remember the name of this gray color right here? I mentioned in the video. Comment below, and the first one that says it correctly, then I'll give you a $25 Amazon gift card. Hey guys, this is a video showing you the differences between the 60th anniversary package and the Heritage trim level. And I hope this video helped you understand the differences between the two of them. And remember, there are 2 Amazon gift cards up for grabs. So make sure that you answer the questions correctly and be the first one to type in the answer below. And if you have any questions regarding any of these 2 Broncos, make sure that you comment below. And last thing I want to share with you, thank you so much for tuning in. On to the next video, and have a blessed day.